We're going to start this one with kind of a coordination dynamic move. What really helped me was getting my left heel on top of a little chip on that bottom hold, and then really thinking about standing up into it instead of throwing myself at it. But then here, this ends up being kind of a fail. I didn't make it through this route because I just get super stuck, but I wanted to share it anyway because it's kind of funny. So at this point, I'm pretty lost. You can see I'm kind of looking at my friend for help for a second. I'm also going to speed through a bunch of it because I spend a lot of time just figuring out what I need to do. But getting that foot high helped me turn around, but I'm still facing out away from the wall, which is not generally what routes are meant to be, but if it works, it works. And the next part of my thought process is trying to figure out how to get my feet higher and then maybe my right hand up to the next big sloper up there. So I'm going to kind of bump up to it, and honestly that hurt my wrist a little bit. And then again, I'm just completely lost. I'm thinking about trying to get both my hands on top of that big sloper, but then I start to kind of slip off. Okay, anyway, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, here's how I ended up actually getting this one. So it's still that same big kind of swinging coordination dynamic move up to the big press on the big sloper, and then I'm going to lift my left toe up and replace my hand to be able to free up my hand to move up. I ended up facing out again. It was more comfortable than trying to face in, but I'm interested to try to see some beta where you face into the wall, because I think that might be the intended way. Anyway, I'm spending some time kind of fumbling around with my feet, and then a quick bump up to the top sloper, but I'm still clearly very confused. And then I try to get a high foot on there to see if that would help, but I give up on that pretty quickly, and now you can see where my head is going. I'm gonna start to tiptoe a little bit, try to pivot myself around, get my left foot on that hold is the goal. It was a little bit slippery, but then from my left foot, I can kind of take off from it and just leap of faith, grab onto the edge. And I was so happy that I ended up sticking that. That was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. So I'm going to fumble around with my hands a little bit on this start, trying to decide which one I want on the left and the right. And I opt for my right hand on top because that next move is going to be all the way out to the left. So I wanted my right hand to be in a good position after making that move. Then I'm going to shift my feet around a little bit, looking to go up towards that what I thought was going to be a great pocket, but it's actually really shallow. There wasn't much to hold on to, so it caught me off guard and I ended up slipping off. So this time, as I'm getting up to it and preparing for it, I'm going to be reaching up and grabbing the next hold over, and then I know if I'm leaning off to the left, it is going to be a good hold for me. So I grab it with my left hand and then quickly throw my body over to the right, and now it's feeling like a pretty good undercling. Here I do a little drop knee. I'm going to talk about that again in a second, but that ends up finishing the route for us. So that drop knee wasn't necessary, but it did take all of the weight off of that right foot and made it easier to move up. And then I pivot my foot out at the end. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. With the start being so high on this one, there's only actually a couple moves to this route. We're going to start out with a campus up to the first handhold, and then a big swinging heel hook. That way all of my weight is supported on my left foot and left hand, so I can reach up to the right crimp. Then as I'm moving along the left side, I've planted that left foot and I'm pivoting around it, mostly supported by the left side. But that top hold is giving me a lot of trouble. It's negative, meaning it's slanted down, so it's pretty tough to hold onto. With slopers like that, it's especially important to be hanging directly underneath the hold. That's where you're going to get the most grip and most support from that hold. So as I'm working my way up to it this time, I'm going to be trying to throw my chest against the wall as I'm reaching up for it to make sure that I'm as close and directly underneath that hold as close as possible. Then I'm getting off of it as soon as possible as well, because it was not a great hold. But that was it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. This is back at that other gym I went to a couple months ago. The start is down low and the finish is high, kind of like how climbing works. I was thinking sit start at first and then changed my mind into leaning on top of it. And then I was kind of feeling around for this next one. It looks white because of all the chalk, but I promise it's yellow. But once I can get a hold of that pinch, I can really lean down onto it, and then I'm going to jam my foot back behind me to really push myself between the two footholds to keep myself stable as I'm reaching up to get towards the next holds. And then I get a little bit stuck here because the next feet are really high up. The fix was kind of reaching down again with my hand to make sure that I had enough to pull up on and then move my feet up, then start climbing up again. This is in a bit of a chimney where the center of the wall is pushed back a little bit and the two sides are coming in, and you'll see my feet are on opposite sides, kind of both pushing in towards that center. That low foot was a little bit too far to be able to take my left hand off, so to finish I work myself more into a side pull and flag that left foot. I mean right foot. Okay, thanks for watching, bye. This is a quick one for a little while ago, but I found it pretty interesting. There's a lot of really good smearing on this one. As I get into the middle section of this route, there really aren't any designated footholds, so I've got to work my feet up along the wall into that heel hook, and then I'm going to be pulling up, locking that heel hook in, and getting up to that top. This was a competition style route. It looks a little bit different than what normal routes look like, but the goal is to get to the top. Anyway, back at the smear, I'm really leaning back and pulling against those arms, and then here with the heel hook locked in, I'm pushing down on my right leg for the power, and the left leg is kind of there to keep me against the wall, keep me controlled. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching, bye. Whoa, look, I did something other than bouldering. I actually love lead climbing as well, but I feel like it's much harder to film and record and then offer good commentary on it. I don't know, it just seems really far away, but I'm gonna give this one a shot. Also, before you make fun of me for falling off on those mega jugs like that, I was at the end of the session, I was really tired. There was a dog barking. I ran out of excuses. One of the things I prefer about lead climbing as opposed to top roping is actually that risk of falling. I just feel like it gives you that extra little motivation to hold on so you don't end up like this. Also, aside from just being scary, it's kind of a pain to get back to the wall sometimes. Here I'm swinging and I reach out with my toe, but I can't quite get it until I swing back, and then I'm able to grab onto the rope. Then you have to climb yourself up again. Your belayer can help a little bit by pulling down on the rope as you go up, and after 2 falls, I did eventually make it to the top of this one. So I'm gonna reach up to the top, and then there are 2 anchor points up there where you clip in your rope to finish up the route. All right, that was it. Thanks for watching, bye. Absolutely no feet to start this one. The left foot smear was the most important, as I'm really pushing against that one to keep myself stable. And then that right toe hook came in as I was reaching across my body just to make sure that I was keeping myself up. Then I skipped that one on the right because the way that it's angled, it was really hard to hold on to, and it kind of twisted my body. Then the finish is pretty far away yet, so I'm going to go into that pocket and just pull against it real quick so that I can get my hands up towards the finish. Let's do a closer look at the start, because this is what I really struggled with. It took a lot of attempts to be able to get this. So pushing against that left foot and then pulling on the right arm is really what's keeping me up, and then bumping on the 2 left hands to work myself up. But then here, that right side hold, when I grabbed onto it, it was just twisting my body around, and it was really hard to hold on to, and you just slip right off. So skipping it ended up being the most effective way that I was able to complete this route. And I think that's a great thing about climbing in general, is you can take your own creativity and whatever works best for you. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching, bye. Look at this blue one, there were 2 kind of starting orientations you could use and opening moves that go with it. I'm choosing to go with the right hand on top so that I can reach up high with my left hand into the pocket and then bump over to a crimp on the right. The right foot's going to come up and find a place to support me, and then my left foot, I wanted to get on that hold as soon as possible to take some of the weight off and then kind of pivot around it as I'm trying to find a more comfortable position. I promise I struggled with this route a lot more than it looks like. There were like a dozen attempts before I actually got my camera out. Here's the other start on this one too. It's the left hand on top and then pulling on that left to go up to the right hand pocket, then to the crimp on the left. I was trying this beta at the end of the session though, so I was pretty tired, but here's some of the mistakes that I was making on it too. As I'm pulling up to get that left hand on the crimp, I'm not doing a great job of keeping my hips against the wall. They're really coming out away from it on me, and that's causing me to kind of fall backwards and not be able to hold on with those little handholds. Okay, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Glad to hear it. And thanks for the feedback. I really appreciate it. Like seriously, everyone who leaves comments on my videos and the feedback, I really appreciate all of it. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just a guy on my couch talking to my phone right now. So hearing what you guys like and don't like helps me make better content. Anyway, I gotta catch up. So the first move here is getting into kind of like a double Gaston position. I'm so far behind. Okay. So we're reaching up, like I said, better content, right? I'm being much more methodical with my movements in this one and trying to keep my hips and chest really close to the wall, as close as I can. And I'm also leading with my hips. Like you can see my hips shift over before reaching up for the next hold to make sure that my body and my weight are underneath where I'm going. And then it's just a big old pinchy guy to finish. All right, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, and thanks again for all the feedback.